I am Joshua ElChuckles Bruce. I am 23 years old and I'm the coach for the Pittsburgh Knights. I'm from Mackay, North Queensland, Australia. I'm sure no one's heard of it. It's pretty rural. It's not like, you know, a town of 5 people or anything. It's got a few tens of thousands, I think, but it's definitely not bustling, and it's very Australian. I was typing in the name for Xbox. I looked around and I saw a little clown doll on the thing. I'm like, hey, that sounds good. Let's go with that. I think, now keep in mind this was a very long time ago, when I was a wee lad, the L part came in because all the kids at school just loved putting the word L in front of everything. The first game I remember playing would probably be Tomb Raider at my neighbor's house. I think I went over and I think their dad was playing it. And I looked and this big dinosaur came out, all 3 polygons of it, and it was like, rah. And I loved dinosaurs as a kid. And I was like, nice, I want to play that. And he let me play it. And I was like, nice. I don't know what's going on, but I like this. After that, I just played a whole bunch of video games, and eventually Smite came out. A bunch of friends and I saw like YouTube videos or something. We're like, hey, that looks pretty cool. It was back in beta in 2013, I think. Quickly realized there were no Australian servers, so the number of friends quickly dwindled to a lot fewer, but a few of us stuck it out and we had some fun. Orgs, mostly just Australian ones. SK obviously last year, Knights this year. The first Australian org was Direwolves, then it was Avant, and then finished out with Legacy for the last 2.5, I think, years of the Oceanic League. Started coaching in, well, start of last year for essentially the same team of Neil Zapp, Paul, Ronnie and Sam. That was the point where the Australian scene was shut down, and so I was like, you know, I'd had a good run in that, not the best, but a decent run, and I knew I could do more, so I you know, talked to a few of the people that I knew, namely Biggie and a few other Australian people. They got me in contact with Trifecta at the time, and I was able to get picked up. They were when I was looking at all the teams, you know, that were forming in the lead up, and I was like, hey, I want to coach next year. They were my first choice. Having watched them through their Trifecta run at Worlds, I thought they had so much potential, and they could have gone, you know, if things went a bit different or they were a bit more cohesive, they could have, you know, taken the whole thing even as Trifecta that year. So I was like, yeah, this team's got a lot of potential. I really want to see, you know, them reach that. So, and that's basically what I, you know, tried to focus on bringing out, I guess. Just making sure everyone knew their stuff and keeping mistakes to a minimum. It's probably easier for me, you know, in this situation, you know, with parental, you know, regard towards it, because it's not like up until I took the leap into coaching, it was always, you know, basically a hobby, like a part-time thing, you know. Well, hey, I earned some money while going to uni or stuff. I got to, you know, compete, you know, in a different state in Australia or whatever. So it was always like, you know, it never like detracted, you know, too much. It was always like, you know, a nice hobby to have. So then to go from that to, you know, being paid professionally to compete in, you know, the actual big league, make a salary, go to Worlds, win Worlds. It's obviously something that they're very supportive of. I mean, I do have a degree that I might be able to use, who knows? Journalism is a dying industry, I've heard, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to stay in esports. I mean, after competing, even just in OC, just like, you know, meeting all those other players, all the org owners, staff behind the scenes, like, even in OC, it's such a, it's such a passionate, you know, industry with so many people that care, and like, you know, I'm just super interested in that. So, I mean, if an opportunity arises that I can, you know, stay in, I'll happily leap at that.
Do you think there's any SPL players you can replace? And if so, who?
Yeah.
Besides
You?
me.
Fuck! Yeah. I'm not telling you though.
Why
Maybe I could replace Ro.
Why didn't you say the biggest matchup for us is me versus myself?
That's true. That is a constant threat.
Me versus myself?
Yeah. How much is Neil Maher going to int today, we think?
What's your favorite song?
That's a good question. None ya.
Running what?
None your what?
None your business.
Oh!
Got him.